Good evening, afternoon, lunch, brunch, dinner, whatever time it is at your place. Good hello. Roxanne here, Adventures with Roxanne. And y'all can give me a handshake or a clap or whatever, because I did something I've never done before in my life today. Well, I've been to this place before, but I've never driven there myself. And I didn't take the expressway. I found out what we tasting. We're going to taste cookies. You tell me where they're from. I've had them before, but I'm going to taste them again tonight. I took myself to IKEA. I knew for years you could go right out my street here, one block up, turn to the right, and you would end up in downtown Atlanta without getting on the expressway. And I said, yay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I spent 7 hours on, it's a little longer. It's only 35 to 45 miles an hour going the back road. But I don't have to get that 4, 5, 6 lane of traffic of I-75, I-20, whatever traffic. I got a little panicky for a few seconds there, but I did it. It might have went from a 4 lane to a 2 lane to a 3 lane and back and forth, but I did it. I did it, everyone. So, and only bought a magnet board and I bought a magnet board, 2 magnet boards, so I can put my magnets that I'm going to start collecting. And then I bought cookies. I've had these cookies before. But then I bought this chocolate bar, and it got melty in the car. That 5 minutes before the air conditioning kicked on. It's on Sweden. And it's a little bit melty, but it looks delicious. And then I bought some more. And I bought these cookies, chocolate filled cookies. Let's see, where are they from? They from Sweden too. They did have a cookie there that was from Germany. But I don't eat jelly type cookie. And it was a jelly type cookie with a jelly in the middle. But yeah, from the time I got in the car, in that 5 minutes or so, it got the air conditioning to get cooled off. That chocolate bar started melting. Oh, we're going to eat these so I can get them open. These are, I'll show you again. That's what these are. I wasn't going to do a live, and I changed my mind. I said, go ahead and do your live. You can eat your dinner after you have your cookies. Because I haven't had dinner. I got the Swedish meatballs, but I got the kids' plate. And because I said, I don't want all this extra because I don't eat like I used to. So 4 meatballs was enough. And I had mashed potatoes with the gravy. But then, she started putting the peas on the plate. I said, no, put those peas on the plate. She said, they're good for you. I said, yeah, I love peas. But you want to see me in the bathroom in 20 minutes from now? Give me the peas. She said, oh, okay, sorry. And I said, well, can I get macaroni? No, ma'am. Zach's wallet in an hour? I'll be there. Tell me what I have to do. But she said, I can't have macaroni because that's not on the kids' menu. I said, wait a minute. It's not on the kids' menu. She had black beans. She had rice and coleslaw and some kind of, it looked like peppers and something else that was in like a vinegary sauce. And she had rice. I said, give me the rice. So I had rice and cream potatoes with the gravy. It was so good. But this is the heart for all my heart friends. I'm everywhere. Yeah, I wish. No, but I did brave today, and I said, if I get panicky, I can just stop the car at a gas station, calm down, but I did it. Yeah. Yep, I'm getting brave. I'm going to try this cookie. It's from Sweden. It should be good. I know what, I'll try I know what the ginger ones taste like. They used to be little bitty boxes of ginger cookies there. Now these big old containers. But even when these cookies, the ginger cookies get soft, I like them because I like a soft cookie. Thank you, Scotty. Yes, chocolate on one side, vanilla on the other side, and like a creamy chocolate center. They're okay. They're not a chocolate Oreo. They're okay. I don't really like Oreos that well. They're okay. I'll eat half of it. Well, let's see if this is. So I've done started opening it because it's melty. Let's see if we can get it open enough to see what it looks like. Or is it going to get all over my fingers? Hey, Megan. Oh, yeah. It's just lick the paper soft. Let's see if I can get something. The other side's harder. Let's see if I can get a piece off the other side. All right, the other side's harder. That's what it looks like. But then I had a bottle of water. I guess I left it in the buggy at IKEA. I said, I'm not going back 45 minutes on no bottle of hot water right now. But I did buy, also, I bought the gravy that they use on their Swedish meatballs. So I think I'm going to, I can't taste this because it ain't made. But I'm going to make it one night and make me some creamed potatoes or rice. And I have it upside down. Why didn't you tell me that? Yeah. This is when you have their Swedish meatballs at IKEA. So. And this chocolate is dark chocolate. But it doesn't say what percentage it is. It's pretty, a little bit bitter. So I'm assuming it's probably a 70 or 80% chocolate. It doesn't say on the package. Unless someone can tell me. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say on the back either. It just got the ingredients list. And it's all over my fingers. It's melty. The first one is chocolate liqueur, then sugar, cocoa powder, cocoa butter, lecithin, whole milk powder. Then contains milk, but it doesn't tell you the percentage. It's a high percent. It's not a 90. I can tell you that. Not a 90 or 100. I'm saying 70 or 80. It's not bad because I love dark chocolate. I can't eat it more than 80. After that, it gets really bitter for me. It's not bad. He says I can't get it out much off the paper because you see it's all melty. So, and then let me open up my favorite cookies. These are gonna last me a long time. Let me see how many grams it is. It's 21.2 ounces. 600 grams. Well, I bought them last time my nephew was here. We went down there and I got some stuff. But he was going to take one home. He said, I'll take half of them home. We got home and tasted one. He said, I don't really like them. You can keep them. I said, I ate them, but it took a while. And I like them. I liked them. They were getting too soft on me. I should have thrown them away, but I like a soft cookie. Now I got it out. But, ginger cookies are what you see at Christmas time. But you go to IKEA, you can see them all year round. They're thin ginger cookies. They used to be called Annie. ANNIE or ANNE cookies. But they don't say that on here anymore. So either they've got a different brand or they're not or they're marketing just IKEA brand. But it looks like the same one. You can buy these. You can buy those Annies sometimes year round too. So, but I got chocolate all over me. But it was good chocolate. This is a more hard cookie. So, it's a good cookie, ginger cookie. And these cookies right here are very good. You're going to think it's not good at all. Cheese. Get you a piece of, I call it hoop cheese. The old-fashioned cheese. These are good with that. It's also good with cream cheese. You might think, oh, weird, but no, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Anybody want to come up? I put the link in. Because we're going to be off to watch the match game on Carnival. Controversial cruising. Yeah, I want to go on a Carnival cruise so bad. I am in February. Yeah. No, he said stick it in the Freeport. Oh. Stick it in the freezer. Yeah. I'll stick it in the freezer or refrigerator and it'll get. Yeah, but these are good. I could eat these. But I don't know what I'm going to have for supper. Probably another sandwich. Because after you walk IKEA and you sit an hour with the dude, his name, I can't remember his name now. Jason, I want to say. Maybe that ain't it. But anyway, I sit with him trying to figure out the bed and stuff that I want. And I found this little desk. It's a little bit bigger than a tray table desk. But I'm using a tray table because I don't want to go in the other room where the desk is probably 60, 70 years old is. So I found this desk. Found a cute shelf. And I found these magnet boards that I'm going to use if they'll fit on the shelf. If they don't fit on the shelf, I'm still going to put them around me and change up my place. But I didn't buy anything except the cookies and the magnet boards today. I said, let me go home and double think if I want to get a new bed or just a new mattress. Because I think I want to go from a queen. I went from a king to a queen. And they shortened my room probably a foot to make me a bigger bathroom. So, excuse me. I don't like my big queen size bed having to get around it. Until I get an electrician here. I still have an electrician and finish my stuff. But I did hear from the guy doing the kitchen. He's back from his crusade. He got back last night. And so he'll probably show up on Monday. Or I'll call him and he'll show up on Monday. Because tomorrow I'm going to the church rummage sale. What do you call it? Arts and crafts sale. Our church is having another one because one of them got rained out. They were supposed to have this about a month ago. So they rescheduled it for tomorrow. Knock on wood, it's going to be a beautiful day. So, anyway. So, I hope he don't want to come tomorrow. But I went down to the gas station yesterday to the guy that we've known, been buying gas for what, 40 years probably. James died 2 years ago, and we were buying gas when my daughter was little, because his parents lived in this house. Anyway, and I asked him if he knew anybody to cut grass, and he was leaving, but he said, leave your name and number with the lady that's working inside. I don't remember her name, and so I left it with her and thought, pray that he finds me somebody to cut the grass, or either I get a brand deal for a lawnmower, one of those electric or the AI lawnmowers. I don't want to cut my grass. I really don't want to get out there. James got a lawnmower. It hadn't been ridden but twice since he died, or maybe 3 times, and it don't want to start that well. So I'm just looking and praying that, I wish some of my friends lived closer, Y'all live up north, out west, out east. Everybody, they're all in different directions. The only people I know on here is Mike from Atlanta. He lives on the other side of Atlanta, and they're handicapped. Mike and his wife, I can't remember their name. We rode with them up to Helen. But I don't have anyone else, Anyway, y'all want a cookie? Have a bite. They're delicious. Well, we're not going to stay on here an hour. We're going to stay in here by probably 7:30 or less. But because I really need to find food and not eat cookies for dinner. But the Swedish meatballs were fantastic today. Num num num. Yep. But if you need someone for the match game, let me know. I'll come up there one day. You can ask questions all about me and Candy. So it's gonna be a fun match game that I have a feeling. Yep. Yeah, I'm everywhere and anywhere I want to be. Don't know if y'all, I may have said, I probably already said, but I did book myself a cruise. February 14th, 2026. Going out of Miami to the ABC Islands. Thank you, Scotty J. You can come up if you want. But that was my husband's birthday was February the 15th. And our first date was February the 16th. And when later in years, a year or two after we were married, I put two and two together that, yeah, y'all working and lurking. All right. I put two and two together that, hey, our first date was almost on your birthday. And I told him, why didn't you tell me it was your birthday when we went out? He said, you didn't ask. And my birthday was the day before. I said, well, you should, you didn't tell me. And I believe it was on our first date. We went to, it's called Greenbrier Mall. They call it another name now, but it's still Greenbrier Mall, but they've got a nickname for it. But I'm not going to say it'd be inappropriate. So anyway, but he bought me a record, and it was hard on the record. And I don't remember, it was love songs, that's all I remember. Sounds like it's going to rain. I hear thunder. Either that somebody's on my porch. But I think it's thunder in the background. But anyway, and he bought all that on our first date. But I didn't want to go out with my husband, with James. When we first met, we were giving blood. He's over there just, arms stuck out on giving blood. And he said, hello, ma'am. I said, hi. He said, you give blood before? I said, no, my first time. He said, oh, this ain't my first time. I did it in the Air Force. And when we did it, we got to have the next day off of duty. I said, oh, that's nice. And he kept talking and kept talking. And I said, sir, could you be quiet? I don't want to hear your story. So, long story short, yeah, it was love songs they gave me. So, yeah, but he said he spent 3 weeks looking for me in the school. We were in college. He spent 3 weeks looking for me. He said, I miss lunch every day so I could go to, I went to all the classes. And he said, all the classes that were where you had to wear white uniforms. He said, but I didn't go to the cafeteria. I missed lunch for 3 weeks. I said, if you'd only come to the cafeteria, you would have found me. He was just passing the bakery kitchen, and he saw me standing there, and the rest is history. He kept coming back for a few days, came back for a week, and one of the guys said, go out with him, and if you don't like him, when you get back to school on Monday, if there was any problem, he said, I'll knock him out. I said, okay. So I went out with him, and we were married 43 years, almost 43. Like about a month and a half being 43 years. So never say never. That reminds me of Carol Burnett and her husband. They were friends for a long time. And she said, I ain't marrying that man. And Carol Burnett and her husband got married. So anyway. So nobody wants to come up. Y'all are at work. One Scott's at work. One Scott's getting ready for his show. So anyway, I don't know if Megan's still here or not. But I'm going to record what I eat later. And what I make for dinner. I don't know what I'm going to make. Probably I got 2 hot dogs left. And I got sandwich meat. I'm not really in the mood to do anything but maybe make it 2 hot dogs and a piece of loaf of bread. Because I'm out of hot dog buns. But loaf of bread does the same thing as a hot dog bun. And the other day when I went to the grocery store, I got everything I needed. And I said, all right, I love brioche bread. But I said, I've got to cut back on the brioche bread because it's higher in calories. And so I said, I'm not going to buy any. I had bought some white bread to do a contest. I'm submitted to the Better Builder Burger contest like Billy J did last year, and my submission got accepted. So let's hope he gets past. This year it's going to be different. They got 20 people that are going to judge what you send in if yours gets accepted. Well, I don't know how they're going to narrow it down to 20. But anyway, those 20 people are going to make your burger. And if your burger wins over the 20 people, you get to go to California. I think it's California. So my burger was accepted. I already had the white bread. But I get home, and in my bag yourself. And I didn't pay any attention, but somebody had left their white bread on the conveyor, on the thing, because bag yourself at Aldi's. So I ended up with a free loaf of white bread. So that's my story for the day. And I also booked me something else, but I may change those plans if something else goes through with a friend, and she can get to go where. Anyway, that'll come out later if that happens. I'll change the other plans I made for December. So, but we got to discuss some more if she's going to be able to do what some other people want her to do. So I don't know. Anyway, all right, everyone. We're going to call it a night because it's almost time for Scott Controversial Cruising. And Scotty J is on the way home from work soon, probably. What kind of work do you do, Scotty J? Are you in the medical field? I don't know, but you remind me of a friend I had in Atlanta. But I don't think you're from Atlanta. Anyway, everyone, y'all have a blessed day. Do like my mother-in-law did and like I do sometimes. Eat your dessert before your dinner. Only joking. So, y'all have a blessed day now. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Go over to Scott's Controversial Cruising, 8 o'clock. Be there. Bye, everyone.